Hey there, friends. Last week, we bought 10 random keys from G2A.com. And this week, we're going to continue that trend and we're going to buy 5 random Steam Premium CD keys. So the premium keys are supposed to be the upper end products and whatnot. So let's read the description. So the following product contains various pre-selected bundles of 5 Steam CD keys of different values. Please be informed that the buyer assumes full responsibility for any incompatibilities to do with hardware, operating systems, etc. Both games incompatible with Apple PCs and games that have higher system requirements than the buyer's hardware are not eligible for refund. Also, due to limited seller stock, repeat packages from the same seller are not eligible for a refund. Consider opting for different offers when buying in bulk. That makes sense. Buy one each. Go away. So, the description: if you love good, cheap games, then this is the offer for you. We offer products that are worth much more than the price paid. This product gives 5 unique CD keys which can be activated on the Steam platform. Quality guarantee: every key in the auction has a value of at least £8 or more in reference to their Steam base prices. Metacritic score and Steam user reviews are taken into consideration. The offer applies to games with a Metascore of at least 75% or those with an overall mostly positive rating on Steam Store. The lowest price. We provide the cheapest games, so a full refund will be guaranteed if the price of that game you receive is higher than on Steam, compared to the base price on Steam Global Store view in euros. No free games, no DLC codes, and no demo codes. And G2A is probably my favorite for this because of the no DLC codes. Because on Green Man we got DLC codes, which did not make me happy. Want to be our lucky customer today? Take a chance to see what fate will bring you today. So let's see what fate's going to bring us. Let's pick our seller. Let's try the ODKBR seller. It's got a 96, which I think is the highest in the premium. CD Key Project has a 98, but they have much less keys sold. Some of these guys are horrible. Even for considering quantity, I mean, 85% with 427 keys sold, they might as well recreate their account and make a new one. Anyway, this guy's got 12,517 of these sold, so we're going to go with him. So I will check out and we will see what we end up with. And no, we are not using the G2A shield because it's not really worth it for a $4 purchase. Anyway, we'll be back and see what we got. Welcome back. So that didn't take long at all. I've heard some people say that sometimes G2A takes a little longer to process something. And that was not the case for us. It actually went as advertised, no problems whatsoever. So let's see what we got. First we got Splice, which Splice looks interesting. The graphics look good. It looks well designed. I mean, it is an indie game, so I don't know what we're expecting out of it, but for an indie game, it actually looks pretty outstanding. So far, I haven't played the game. I'm not familiar with it. I never have looked at it, but these little screenshots they got actually make it look a lot like Plague Inc. as far as that level of graphics, and that's impressive. So I'm not going to play the video because there's no point. Splice is an experimental and artistic puzzler. Immerse yourself in its microbial world and start splicing. Every level, strand, consists of a number of cells that you need to rearrange into target structure in several moves, splices. So basically you're changing the structure by moving things around and making them a little different. I have a feeling maybe this is a little educational too. But this one also came with the soundtrack, if I'm not mistaken, which was an extra $4. But since I only consider the base price, because that's what I'm sure we got, I have not loaded it yet. But this is what I found, but I think it's its soundtrack edition. And the soundtrack actually does add another $4.99 to the Steam price, but there's no comparable prices for that in any of the stores. So next one is Rooms, the main building, which, again, decent graphics for an indie game especially. Looks reasonable. very, very decent. Basically, it looks like a puzzler. You move things around, and then you move the rooms around, and then you leave the room. It says use objects inside rooms and move the rooms to escape. 100 challenging sliding puzzles with a twist. The solution is only a doorstep away. Okay. Next one is MacGuffin's Curse, which I don't know. The graphics look a little odd, but maybe that's part of the charm, and it's just hard to convey in these screenshots. But it looks interesting. Sneak and smash your way through this fiendishly addictive comedy puzzle adventure. Maybe the comedy plays off of the graphics. I'm not sure, but I've never seen this before. I've never heard of this series before. So we'll have to check it out and see what it is. But it definitely is interesting. And the next one is Shadowgate 2014, which looks like a point and click. Yeah, it's point and click right there. Point and click, Myst style adventure where you wander through. Maybe something like Loom or something like that from way back, the LucasArts game. It says thrust in the role of the Seed of Prophecy. Players travel deep into the living castle in hopes of defeating the evil that dwells within, the dreaded Warlock Lord. I'm not a huge fan of these games, but this one definitely has a bit of appeal to it. It's definitely got some charm to it. It's interesting. And again, making really sure not to show you the prices before we get to the spreadsheet. Don't want to ruin the surprise. But it definitely has an appeal to it. And the next one, it looks like I exited the window, so I'm going to go ahead and type it in because I know what it is. It's Anna's Quest. Now, Anna's Quest definitely... well, no, we're not going to watch the video. Has that artistic style that really sets it apart. It's really well drawn, actually, considering it's very consistent through the whole scene. The graphics are really different. Kind of reminds me of that one show. What is it? Courage, the Cowardly Dog. The eyes, the way things look, the perspective. Just that whole style. And that is a style, so that works. It says, with her telekinesis, unorthodox use of torture instruments, and a knack for improvisation, and the help of a shady fox, she makes her way from the peaks of Glass Mountain to the deepest dungeon. Oh, okay. We'll give that a shot. But okay, here's the summary. We got our 5 games. All 5 games got very high, very positive reviews, and they were not just very positive across a couple of users. We're talking like 85 to 90% across hundreds of users. So G2A lived up to its promise. These premium keys were highly reviewed by a great number of people. None of it was DLC like it was with the Green Man Gaming disaster. There were no duplicates, and the games were actually reasonable and playable from the looks of it. And good graphics, decent presentation, great appeal, and we'll check some of these out and see what we got with them. But that'll be the final judge of whether they're a good game or a crappy game. But you know what? Overall, I'm very pleased with what we got here. So now comes the big test. What does it average out to? We ended up paying $4.76 total with the fee and everything. So, Shadowgate on Steam is $14.99. On Kinguin, it's 58 cents. And on G2A, it's 97 cents. MacGuffin's Curse is $9.99 on Steam. It was $1.06 at Kinguin's price and $1.15 at G2A. And you'll notice this time we're not comparing anybody else because no one else is really involved in this. This is a G2A key, so G2A and Kinguin are going to go head to head on it. Rooms, the main building, was $9.99 on Steam. Is 54 cents on Kinguin and 31 cents on G2A. Splice was $9.99 on Steam. And on Kinguin it was 49 cents, and on G2A it was 72 cents. And Anna's Quest was $6.79 on Steam, and it was $2.38 on Kinguin and $1.36 on G2A. So obviously this game has some potential. So we're looking at, let's see, 20, 30, 40, about $50 in Steam. I didn't do a summary this time, I'm sorry. And about $6 on Kinguin, and 5 something on G2A. So comparatively to what we paid for it, we actually went out ahead. I can't tell you exactly how much ahead because I didn't summarize the prices, unfortunately. However, they are all more than the $4.76 that we paid. So this one would be a win. Would I consider buying any of these games by themselves? Possibly. Splice seems interesting. I think given some time to look it over, it might appeal to me. Shadowgate, probably not. MacGuffin's Curse, I don't know. I'm going to have to look at that one. And Rooms seems interesting, but I would probably pay 31 cents for it. I think that would be fair. Anna's Quest, not my style of game, actually, from the presentation. I probably would have not opened the page for it to see it. But after doing so, it does seem to be a rather interesting game. I don't think I would have found it if I wouldn't have gotten the key for it. So I would have missed it. I'm not sure if that's going to be a pleasant experience to play or not. But I never would have known, and I probably would not have looked in the G2A store for it. So that one may turn out to be a nice surprise. And that's really why I like these, because sometimes you end up with something you never considered that actually ends up being really, really good. Now, do I recommend you buy a bundle from G2A? I at this point, comparing what we've seen so far and the options that I've seen so far, we're not done yet. We've still got a couple other sites to go to. So we're going to end up compare several of them. But comparing the 3 that we've done so far, would I recommend that you buy it from G2A? If you're going to buy a bundle, at this point, my recommendation would be to go to G2A, because it seems like so far we have come out more positive from G2A than we did at Kinguin, than we did at Green Man. And those are the other 2. So far the winner is G2A out of all the bundles. Would I recommend that you buy a bundle of random keys in the first place? No, I would not recommend it. If you're gonna do it, I would do it through G2A. If you're absolutely dead set on playing some gambling games on a Saturday morning or whatever, or late Saturday night, yeah, go to G2A and do it. Do not go to Green Man and do it, because you'll get crap. Kinguin, another reasonable option. So I would rank them so far in our list: G2A, Kinguin, and then Green Man at the very bottom. And they're going to stay at the bottom unless we find somebody who's drastically worse. But as it stands, that's how it pans out. Kinguin, or G2A is first, Kinguin is second, and Green Man Gaming is third. Far in the third. I would never recommend that. But like I said, I would never recommend any of these bundles to anyone in the first place. Generally, they are a colossal waste of time and money. Would I have bought any of these games? I already covered that. Do I feel like I got a good value for my money? Then in this case, yeah. We'll have to see. But like I said, the reason I do these is because let me be your guinea pig. Let me try it. I'll show you exactly what I get. I'll compare the prices. We'll get it going. We'll see what happens. We'll do this over time so we can contrast maybe over the course of a year. What did we get? And then we'll see where we end up. But I also have very specific use for some of these keys. So for me, this is worth it because I need a massive amount of keys. I don't necessarily need the best keys. I just need a bunch of them. And there's something coming up in 2017 where I'll be using these. So for me, this suits my purpose. For you, I really can't say. But if you're looking to play just a new game, let's put it this way. If you've got $5 burning a hole in your pocket and you want to get a shot at trying a new game that you've never played before or might not have ever considered before, sure, drop $5 on G2A and see what you get. You'll get 5 games that you can try, and one of them may turn out to be your new favorite game. But in general, I would not say this would be a reasonable way to find good games, or I do not think this would be a reasonable way to build up your library. So that is my outgoing diagnostics on that and suggestions. Anyway, if you're enjoying this series, we're going to keep it up for, well, a while, because like I said, I need a lot of keys for a project I have in mind. And in order to do that, this is the best way for me to get a lot of keys and a lot of duplicate keys that I can give away to you guys. So if you watch this and you see where there's a duplicate key that you're interested in, you can watch for something having to do with that key come up on my channel. In order to do that, you're probably going to want to subscribe. I would really like for you to subscribe. It makes me really happy to know that I'm doing something positive here, helping you guys out with these. And if you enjoyed this particular video, go ahead and click that like button and definitely show me that you're interested in this series, because I'll keep doing this anyway. But you know, it just motivates me so much more to put the effort into these, to actually make a video out of it, when I know that there's actually people out there that are coming back and watching them and just really enjoying this series for whatever reason. And if you want to tell me what you're enjoying about watching this, by all means, drop a comment. If you think there's something you want me to do differently or better, again, drop me a comment. I'm kind of winging this, so if you want me to make sure I do the summaries every time, definitely let me know. If you want me to present it in a different way, I can definitely do that too. I will consider all your suggestions. So you can either put them in the comments or you can send them to me directly. But that's all for now, and I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks.